Well, conditions were already pretty bleak on the first morning, the Thursday morning, but those who braved the appalling conditions were eagerly awaiting the test of the reigning champion, Pippa Funnell, on Sue Bunn's 14-year-old stallion Viceroy. And to take you through the dressage action, I'm delighted to welcome Mike Tucker.
Well, 11 combinations that have 2 rides at Badminton, so the grand jury immediately have a lot of the cream at this year's Badminton, and who better to set an early standard than the former European champion, the Grand Slam winner, Pippa, giving Viceroy and her second ride, Cornerman, a chance at the very top level, and resting other horses such as Primrose Pride with Athens in mind. The dressage test, the one designed by Chris Bartle, brought in 2002, and has been acknowledged as a really good test. It really uses the actions and movements that are so integral to the cross-country and the show jumping, but at the same time gives an important aspect of watchability as far as the crowds are concerned. And immediately Pippa sets a very high standard. The horse has to be in balance, keeping that shape. Nice rhythmical half pass. Very few stallions at the top level in 3-day eventing, but this is one that has shown a lot of promise without really having a chance. The top was third at Blenheim in the autumn of 2003, and look at that for an extension. That'll score highly, where this girl is so very good in this phase. She rides such an accurate test. As we now turn our attentions to Bumble Thomas with the Psephologist. Bumble, another Ruth McMullen pupil, who's produced a lot of very good young horses, but this looks one good enough to go right to the very top. He's competed at 4-star level quite successfully. Nice change. Now what about the walk? Perhaps a shade hurried. The grand jury headed by Angela Tucker, the president, Kees Verenge from Holland and Alain James from France. Nice and relaxed. And for a horse that's a 3-day event fit, that's not easy. Bumble has the advantage of being very tall and elegant. That helps, but she also sits very well. Got a very good position, and these days in this all-round ability sport is just as important. The rider is technically absolutely spot on as the horse. Good walk. It's a long, long way. You've got to be patient. Now, what about the rein back? Again, doesn't rush back. Goes back the correct number of paces. And a good strike off, clean. So a good mark for the Psephologist, finishing on 48.6, as Megan Jones paying her first visit to Badminton on the very big horse, Kirby Park Irish Hallmark. Big horse, small jockey this, but they impressed in the World Cup final in Po. The difficulty for Megan is to retain the control across country, because he's very strong. Nice flying change. Again, keeping the shape, keeping the rhythm. No swinging of either the horse or the rider's body. And a very good picture from behind there, where you can see the horse straight as a die, and Megan just asking the question and the horse responding immediately.
And that test would put Megan Jones into the lead after the first day. Indeed, Australia had 3 of the first 4 on the Thursday evening, but it was all to play for on the Friday. And the first we see is another Australian, probably the leading Australian here, Andrew Hoy on Mr PRACATAN.
Well, another very damp morning after some pretty steady rain overnight, but the arena holding up pretty well, giving the horses still a good chance to show their paces, which of course is important. And this is a horse that's been very consistent for Andrew and does move and perform in the mud, and they might have to both in today's dressage and across the country tomorrow. Andrew's wife Bettina, of course, one of the renowned world experts as far as three-day event dressage is concerned, and since they've been married, this man's dressage skills have improved enormously. He's a great technician, really looks at the whole business in detail and doesn't leave much to chance. Again, note his position, absolutely perfect. The shoulders, hips and the heels all in line, beautifully straight back, sitting deep and just asking the horse to extend. And see now if he comes back. Change of pace, very smooth. So Pippa Funnell's second ride, Cornerman, a horse that went well here last year, and this horse is a very extravagant mover. Look at that. That'll probably get a 9 or 2. There haven't been that many 9s. Pippa, the winner of the 2 previous Badminton, but she's come here in a very philosophical mood really, because she says she doesn't necessarily feel she's riding winners. She's got 2 very good horses, but she feels the pressure's off. And psychologically, I think that must be very good for Pippa. You just hear Cornerman sneezing, and that's very often a sign of tension, although he looks absolutely relaxed. Just a little fussy in his head, and that could lose a mark. You'll notice he's just taking an odd stride, a little bit short of nose, and that's purely the going. It's rained steadily all afternoon. You can see the track muddy. It's not deep, but it's very easy to